Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to do another how to use video for the VASSAL module in MAG-23 by Thomas Van Hare and Historic Winds. Um, so let me fire that up real quick, and we will go through it step by step. Takes a little bit of time because the logs are beasts. There are a ton of, I guess you'd call them cells in there that needed coding. And so as you see, we have all 7 plain logs here, the aircraft and fuel log, the campaign log. We'll get to all of them later, but they take up a lot. So make sure I've got my heap up there pretty good. You'll jump that up a little bit. All right, so basically you have your same basic layout you always have on this. The main, I guess you'd call it map on this, is your operation phases. And I have that set up where you can just select the next phase based on where your position is. Most of them will only send you back to the initial one. End of mission will give you a couple of choices in case you have to run another mission. You just keep selecting that around. You can also move this on its own. But right here, you can either go to disease infections or you schedule combat and air patrol in your next mission. So the other thing is I do no, I don't have on this page. I thought I did a cleanup button, but I don't. Doesn't matter. It's just one piece. Anyway, so we got counters. Most of these you'll actually all these you'll need for the battles. I'll go a little bit more like the strafing and bombing, and I believe I have all those. If I did my job right, all those will be on the uh, planes that are available to use them. You have all the different U.S. planes here, Japan planes here. As you see, there's Reduce 1, single plane ace, strafe for the zeros. Same for the roof. The Kates. Kates can do the bomb and the ace. I don't think they really. Well, they could. I don't know whether I haven't played the game much. It's hard designing a game and not knowing it well. But at this point, I don't know it well. The Sisoi Val, you get the idea. All them are there. Your land and your navals. Um, the naval, because they have multiple hits, I do have hits designed into here that will flag where they are as you're getting damage done to them. It'll show. I forget where actually how the tags show up, but um, can't. I'll get to that later on the sea operations or something. All right. Basic dice. 2 dice and the 4 dice. I have the battle dice set up on another. Well, we'll go to that right next. The dice mat designed by Clifton Franklin on BGG. I just put 9 dice on each one. If you need to roll more than that, just roll them in segments. You select how many dice you want, roll them over here, roll the dice, and then if you want, you can select them and pull the various hit attacks and defense to their respective areas. They have 4 or 5. You put these guys here, or 4 or 1, or whatever. You just separate them per attacks and defense. The whole purpose of the map, make it easier on you to remember things. And when you're done, you clean up and it'll put them all back away for you. Um, should make battle a little bit easier. I put a notes in there in case. Victory. Here's your victory level. You adjust each week. Just to kind of should let you go to the next level each time. And then there is a cleanup button on that to reset that. Air operations and combat air combat map. I have air, land, and sea all separated. Everything you need to play each one of these is going to be under these headers. So air combat operations is basically set up the same as the main sequence of play map. I just got we're gonna go either no interception, cap only, close range, long range. Select the one you're going to do, and then it'll let you go to the next step as you go. This also has a cleanup for ease. Then you have the air combat map, and you just draw your counters out. And I try to make this as close to the real life scale as possible. We got a couple of, let's put a couple of zeros out there maybe, and I have these so you can rotate them. Everything you should be able to do in the board game should be done here. And let's drag a couple of US out here too. And I like to showcase the artwork put into these because a lot of guys really do great work on these, and the artwork needs to be showcased. So let's get a couple of wildcats on them too, just something to kind of give you an idea what it looks like. All right, and then on these we can either bomb. Oh boy. You can make it the flight leader. You can also make them the XO. You can make them the CO, Ace, the pilots. I put that on there. You can put the pilots in that flight in here. So for ease of remembering who's what. So that's what I tend to do. I added that in there for that. And then reduce one, we'll flip them down to one. Get rid of that. Oops, undo that. Actually, we can just do it on this one. The reduce takes them down to the single plane. And the thatch weave, I got the thatch weave in there also. For the zeros, they can strafe or be an ace. And the ace, when the ace comes out, the same when the US ace, I can select the double, triple, quadruple on all that. These, they can reduce a single plane, replace by a single plane, or just reduce. If you got to select A or B to discern which one's which, you can do that. There's also a cleanup in here when you're done the battle. Land operations, basically the same thing. Land operations act the same. With air cover, I'm going to go to the next step, or actually over to the next step, but I screwed it up. So, and then when you're done, just hit clean up. That centers that back out. We also have the land combat map. Same deal here. You can set up your planes and your land targets for ease. On the land targets, I think I just have hits on them. Yeah, hit. And actually, when I show up underneath there, and I do see something I want to get rid of, I have them get the big outline on them, and I got to get rid of that. And that's easily done. So you just drag and drop them. These don't, I didn't put a rotate on them. I can put a rotate on them. Module is never locked in stone. I will get rid of that big. I want them selected like the hit did, and I have the wrong one for the land targets. That's a simple change of a prototype. Sea combat operations works the exact same as the others. You just guide your step through so you remember where you're at on the steps and clean up when you're done. See operations combat map. I made this a little bit bigger than the rest because the sheer size of the ship counters, so you could get enough of them in there. Let's get a transports out there, and this is what I was talking about. The hits will show up here, and then it's going to show you what stage you're in damage based on whatever type of ship that is, dead in the water, and then it'll go to. And obviously, you got a battleship in here. It takes a lot more than that. So I've got them programmed in the to take the characteristics of the various boats that you're firing at. So the battleship gets a lot more than that, as per the rule book. All right, logs. Logs. I got the daily log here. You can put your notes on. This is based on the one that Clifton made up, so you don't have to keep a lot of separate logs. Just simply fill out all your different information, and when you hit next day, well, actually, before you hit next day, take a screenshot of it and save it as that day. Make a folder in your MAG-23 or however you run your organization. And then when you hit next day, it'll advance it to the next date over here for you automatically. You can back it up one day in case you make a mistake, or advance it one day. It's all there. There is no cleanup on this one per se. Just hit reset if you want to go back to the beginning. Hit next day and then reset it, and it'll get you back to the beginning. Aircraft and fuel log. Pretty basic. Just it doesn't do the math for you. You just enter the numbers. You can right or left click on it to access each cell that's accessible. If it's not accessible, there won't be anything there. Um, again, if you'll, I suggest just restart a new game through VASSAL if you're going to restart a new game. But there is a cleanup if you want to clean it up. Um, Campaign tracking sheet. It's optional, but I put it in there in case. You can keep that filled out. All that is selectable and fillable, and I just put the whole thing together. Again, with the cleanup button up there for you. These are the ones that are the hogs. This is what really slowed down the load times. But I think it was worth it. So you got your pilot names up here for all, however many pilots are on the. Oh boy, I'll just put my name in there for right now on your roster. And down here you've got add a ground kill, which puts a green dot up here and down here. This will tally your total um, kills. So say we had kills through all these, it's going to total them up here and put one for each day, so you can keep track of your ground kills. Also, that cleans up nicely. Takes a little time because, like I said, you're talking 1,000 cells, maybe a lot of cells. But I think with it's worth it. So the other things you got here, you got the ag kill, you got your cap assigned. So if your cap air, land, or sea assigned, you put that in there for what they did that day. Notes. I only have a few notes in there right now. Ones I saw on the log posted on BGG. As I get more information, I will put them in there. But you got your notes. Um, your status if you get killed or MIA. That's the cool thing about this is I was able to put in coding to allow for the strikeout of the name. So if you're seriously wounded, you're seriously wounded as you see it strikes out the name to make it easy to assign targets. And then you would just select the rest of the cells for the game because he's no longer available, and then line him out. SW lined out. Um, what else we have here? I have notes. Actually, add notes. So if you want to put something in I didn't think of ahead of time, you can. I guess I'm still getting a grasp of the game, so I didn't have a good idea what notes to use. So I just put in what I had at the time being. And crashed. If you crash on landing or takeoff, that also will be in there. So in the end, this is at 75%, so it does zoom out nicely. You've got a really good. I tried to model it off of the log sheets used on BGG because I think that was pretty cool. So we did that, and different colors for KIAs. It will tabulate your air kills and your ground kills up here, and as I said, line them out. So it's a very functional log sheet. Took a lot of stuff to do, which kind of slowed the module down a hair and load and clear up and stuff like that. But I think it adds to the functionality of it and was worth the effort. So there you have it. That's MAG-23 Guadalcanal by Thomas Van Hare, by and design not designed by, distributed by Historic Wings on Amazon. I hope you guys enjoyed the module, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for joining me.